Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our audience. I'm Addie.
I'm Shima.
And welcome to Righteous Way, Righteous Say. We are continuing with yesterday's topic, and we'll jump right into it, of what Miles Guo revealed about the CCP virus and pandemic. So Miles Guo shared on the 7th of March 2020, these evil groups in the United States, Canada, and around the world, people who are paid by the Chinese Communist Party and influenced by their BGY tactics, are speaking for the CCP and completely diverting the world's attention from this pandemic.
Actually, all of us is easily familiar with BGY tactics, and Eddie, you can explain these short films to most of our Western audience, I think.
So the BGY stands for blue, gold, and yellow. And these, on their own color coding, refer to the CCP's bribing and using different ways to bribe their money, to bribe influence, to get power, but most of all, to get people's loyalty. Mm-hmm. And this is not just the common people that they're trying to bribe. It's normally top officials or very influential people that can affect a huge population, and they use this to buy their way across a lot of different things. In fact, when talking about this, I think about the red notice that Miles Guo received from the International Police Organization. And this is
Interpol.
Yeah, Interpol, yes. We can bring it to a conclusion first that the CCP most likely used their BGY tactics also in the Interpol. And that is how it resulted in Miles Guo getting a red notice, which meant that everyone thought he was a criminal. This is just their one way of bribing and their one way of labeling someone that speaks out. Shima, what are your thoughts on this?
Actually, these short films has another color because blue, golden, yellow, and also another one green. That's BGYG, because green is, as Eddie mentioned just now, actually CCP region used any kinds of, bribing or damaging or just eroding the whole international legal system or any kinds of system.
They don't play by the rules.
No.
They're completely...
They are not the system to respect anyone and any rules.
Yes. And in addition, they're using the people's money. Again, it's taxpayer money. Mm-hmm. But they're using it to bribe their way to power and to get everyone's loyalty so they can do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And even there's another way they do this, which is blackmailing, and it is a part of their BGY tactics, or it's after. So maybe they can give this person an easy way out, or they give this person lots of money, or they give them whatever this person wants, but they take evidence. And once the person wants to opt out and say, I'm not going to cooperate with you anymore, then the CCP can go, oh, but we have this evidence, or we have this recording.
Videos and some evidence.
Or we have this photo that represents what you have done. And obviously it's something very horrible. So the person would be like, oh, well then I'll just continue. So this is just a way of blackmailing, which the CCP has often done to ensure that people are always doing what they tell them.
Yes, and much more than that. Actually, CCP region use BGY green together. This kind of coding system to do a lot of bad things, a lot of damaging things to a lot of elites in different countries and build their own evil system worldwide. That's why we should let people outside of whistleblower movement and let more people to understand CCP is how to say, the bad guys, and we cannot trust them and we cannot let it be the leading
it's
place
a
in
strong
China.
dark force behind a lot of the world's problems.
Yes.
But over time, as more and more people like Miles Guo have stood out and exposed their tactics, the CCP is no longer a strong force anymore. It's weakening by the second. They still have this pile of taxpayer money in their hands that they can use at their disposal, but they no longer have the sort of, how you can say, freedom or power that they used to have. And because they're very scared themselves as well that people are going to expose more about them, once it is exposed, you can't unexpose it. You can't bring it back. It's out in the open.
You are right. I agree with you. And all of these BGY and green tactics CCP applied to the whole world and to the whole world's elites is still, until now, is still using. So that's why if you cannot understand, if you are not be alert to them, and you will be easily to drag into that big pit and cannot get out. And they will use these kind of people in different countries and threat them and allure them. And then as with the movement, fellow fighters, we often share to the people among us and our friends outside of this movement. If you work with CCP region, that is a dead end.
Yes.
You cannot get any solution.
We are often say, there's a saying in the whistleblower movement, and it's translated from Chinese. It says, if you follow the CCP, you'll go to the crematorium, which is suddenly sounds very direct, but it is completely true. It's either literal or metaphorically true, because if you follow them, you're completely under their control. You have no freedom. They won't see you as a partner or a working ally. They'll see you as a threat once you know a lot more about what they have done.
Because CCP region, if you know its root and its origin from the international communism and Illuminati, actually, it's really, long history to damage the Chinese people and China, this country, for a long time. And also, with all of the evidence we revealed and exposed by Miles Guo in Whistleblower movement, and also with all of the evidence collected by our fellow fighters worldwide together, and with several generations people sacrifice and doing anything to fight for this evil region, and we cannot until now, 2026, and we still got ourselves enlightened and weakened by all of these truths, facts, evidence, and many countless people's lives sacrificed or meaningless, lost in this region.
What you have mentioned leads me to think about the people of 1989, June 4th, the people on Tiananmen Square who sacrificed their lives during the protest. And that was something that wakened up a lot of people. It might not have been a wave that actually took down the CCP, but it was sure something the CCP was super afraid of over time. You might be thinking, well, why is the Chinese Communist Party afraid of this? I mean, they were the one who ended up cracking down on the protesters using brute force. They are the one who have the military on their hands, and they use it against the people. Putting all that craziness aside, the CCP, as I have mentioned, they have something that they want to hide from everyone. And at some point, even they know it themselves, they can't hide it forever, but they still want to hide it for as long as they can.
It can't be covered up anymore. With Miles Guo, this hero, people's hero, appears, and with Whistleblower movement, the civilian movement in this new era. So CCP region cannot be covered up. All of the evilness, all of the crime, and cannot be easily wipe out.
Yes, in
That's
fact,
yes.
I know there's actually a lot of people who make online memes or quotes, and a lot of them involve the Tiananmen Square massacre or the CCP censorship. Like, I feel it's actually something pretty widespread and well known
Yes.
in overseas countries that allow freedom of speech and Wi-Fi, but none of these keywords you can easily find inside China.
And
You'll be
also,
risking your
yes,
life if you
and
find
also
it.
meanwhile, we know for my personal, perspective, a lot of Westerners, some of my Western friends also discussed these questions with me, and they told me, if you people think CCP region is evil dictatorship region, why not Chinese people to stand up and do something to fight against and let it, just upturn it easily. But I have to say this is a big topic because we still got our backbones, like Miles Guo, like Whistleblower Movement, fellow fighters worldwide.
Yeah, we still
We
have our
are
spine.
part of this movement. And we also are part of this backbone of these Chinese, people. But just now, Eddie mentioned the Tiananmen Square massacre, Tiananmen massacre in 1989. Actually, we got a lot of countless tank men. Have you remember?
Yes, the photo
yes,
of the man in front of the tank.
Very brave man stand in front of the tank, and that tank, weaponized to fight, to just to want to wipe out the peaceful protest people in Tiananmen Square and the students and all of the citizens in Beijing. Actually, we got many exciting or moving story behind the scene, but another reason is CCP region controlled all of the media platform, controlled any kinds of information channel. So people's voice and the people's fighting story cannot be shared to the outside world, even to its own people.
Which is a really huge shame because there is so much information that we do want to share. And like what you have mentioned, there, I'm sure there are people who are thinking, oh, well, if the Chinese Communist Party is so horrible, then why don't people stand up? Well, that's what we're calling for people to do, but it's not easy because not all of them know that that the CCP can be taken down, that they can stand up to this party.
Yes, we will let the history tells the whole world how Chinese people fight against this dictatorship region, because we'll let the history, let the truth out as more as we can.
Yeah.
We are just a part of the story, and we still got many pioneers in front of us. A lot of them jailed in the prison and just killed by the evil CCP region without any trial.
Yeah, there's no trial.
No
there's
trial, no judge. Yes.
There's no innocence until proven guilty sort of metaphor.
Yes.
There's no lawyer that can
take Miles Guo as one
criminal,
exceptional example, because Miles Guo also stay in Chinese regions, CCP regions legal system for more than 2 years, around 2 years, without any trial, without any judges, without any courts, without any lawyers.
And this didn't just happen to Miles Guo. This happened to countless people.
He's the only one. He's the only one survive out of that prison life. It's so sad story.
Yes, and because most of these people were all innocent. Like they a lot of them were jailed simply because they peacefully protested in Tiananmen Square. So this once again connects to the censorship and the asymmetrical warfare, because it's the people against tanks and guns.
We got so many brave people.
Yes, but
if
you take away the tanks and the guns and the helmets and the shields that the CCP has ordered their military to have, what do they have left? They have nothing. They can't use words. They can't use their brains. They can't use actual competence to win over the people. They just have to use force.
So that's why when we mentioned that is a big topic, we only can share our audience a little by little, bit by bit, and step by step every day.
Yes.
Because this is a long history covered
is.
up by CCP region, use any kinds of, ways.
So these evil groups,
Mhm.
in places around the world, it's not just in the United States or Canada,
Yes.
around the world, there are people who sell out their country, sell out their land, sell out their people for money and power, which is given to them by the CCP.
Yes.
So these are it's a very, very small minority group, but they exist. And that is also a way the CCP uses them as a mouthpiece to divert the attention from the pandemic and the
Yes,
truth.
you are right. The whole pandemic and CCP virus is another example nowadays to show the world the evidence how evil the CCP region is.
It is.
Mhm.
Miles Guo also said, "To what extent of abnormality has the CCP made this nation? Everyone in China is doing whatever they can to go to America. If America is not possible, then they go to Canada. Then Australia and Britain if Canada isn't an option, or New Zealand or Japan."
Yes, we can understand this paragraph from different angles with different perspectives because in general, a lot of Chinese people, if they got a passport easily, freely, and if they can apply for visa by their own ability or their talents, definitely they will go any country out of CCP China because the pressure or the whole country is, people call it ghost country now. It's the monster country now because it's really a place full of evilies. And the whole system with a lot of holes and emptiness and is dysfunctional without normal running. So that's why a lot of people, no matter you are old or young, you still know something. You can sense out for your survival which place is better for you, and you can vote by your fate. People often say like this: you vote by your fate, you can go.
Oh, that's
yes,
the way.
you can
Like,
run. You can run.
You
You
can
can
go
run.
to the place you want to go and
Yes.
leave this dictatorship to show that you are opposing the dictatorship. You don't want to live in that country.
Chinese people don't have any rights to vote. You cannot have the right to vote in that country.
Currently, it's
But
not
you
a
can
right
use
to have.
another way. You can, if you got given the choice, most of the people would like to run out of China, CCP China.
Which
That's
says
why,
a
yes.
lot about this country. I mean, it's not simply a wealth thing. It's not simply something to get them out of poverty or to give them new opportunities.
Yes.
It's also a complete environment and freedom thing. So
Okay.
when this happens, you can obviously say, well, the people inside China has very poor lives. That's the least you can say. But above that, they also have immense pressure in schools, in jobs, in the market. They don't have a sort of freedom that many other countries around the world can provide. As long as they have freedom of speech and they have rights and it's sufficiently developed, then of course people will choose that place. I think it's a common thing for everyone, including us. I mean, everyone wants to have a better living environment and not have so much pressure if they can.
Interestingly, Eddie, just now, we all know you are right. Your idea is definitely 100% right. But for some Westerners, they might ask you several questions. The first one is, if most of the people under CCP region, the dictatorship region, with very bad survival chance, and they would like to, go out. actually, you know, when Westerners read from the newspapers or from some propaganda platform, media platform or mainstream media platform, and they often have some impression Chinese people has a very good life there. This is one question they might ask you.
That's true.
And also another question is, how you guys got the chance to go outside of China and settle down in Australia, or why you mentioned a lot of because Whistleblower movement is a worldwide system. Why not so many Chinese can move out of CCP region and settle down in different countries worldwide? So this is another question. What's your answer of that?
We can start with saying that a lot of videos or information you see online where someone might travel to a destination
China is
in
very safe,
and they
China is
take
very
really
rich.
good. They take really good photos. Like the photos itself is admirable. I've seen some of it, not all, but I've seen some of it just for curiosity, and they did look really good. It looked clean, it looked nice, it felt healthy and safe, but that's just one side, and it's a side that the CCP will try to show to every traveler.
That's it. That's the answer.
They will show the best side so people can leave with a great impression and say, oh yeah, that place is not so bad after all.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not so bad for overseas visitors or tourists. It's not so bad. But if you're actually living in that as a normal person, as someone with no background or wealth, or inheritance, then it is difficult. Because I believe most people, if you're traveling to China, you'll be going to the big cities.
Yes.
You wouldn't be going to a very
rural places,
village,
yes,
or a farm side.
And
if you are, then it's most likely some place that the CCP has left just for tourists.
Yes, I agree with you. In fact, CCP China got many sides. This is a monster, this is a gangster with many faces, and it only shows to the outside world one face and one side. That is the rich side, that is the prosperous side, or that is the normal side, and that is the safe side, and that is a society with order and the law side. But on the contrary, so many other bad sides you cannot see. For organ harvesting side, you cannot see. For Xinjiang Uyghur people,
genocide.
Yes, that camp, concentration camp, you cannot see,
Yeah.
And also with the poor, with haven't just living in the despair people side, you cannot see.
Yes, people on the streets.
Without any medical support, you cannot see. With beggars, with homeless, a lot of people with a lot of high level education graduates lose their jobs, and just wandering in the streets, you cannot see.
And the very high unemployment rate, you can't see that.
Yes.
Because you can't see all of these at just a glance. And in another way, they use language. The CCP uses the language barrier to cut off people's connections.
Yes,
and understanding.
That is another way they control the people, to block the information in and outside. And because they build that so-called Great Wall fire.
Great Firewall.
Yes, to block people to get to easily access to any kinds of outside information, especially for our whistleblower movements. And also, anything you would like to get some access to the outside world, they just use that kind of trying to be a crime. They will put you in a jail.
Oh yes, for trying to get over
many
the
years.
firewall, you mean?
Yes. Firewall. If you want to, cross the firewall to get access to the outside world information, that is a crime. You cannot use Facebook, you cannot go to YouTube, and you cannot use any foreign countries' overseas platform.
Yeah, it's really
And that
only
is a
because
crime.
we are both in Australia
Yes.
now. So
That
of
is,
course we
that is
can...
really not a joke.
Yeah.
Mm.
But if you're inside China, crossing the firewall is considered breaking the law, because a lot of
Yes.
people think the firewall is there to protect them.
Mm-hmm. If you keep a Instagram account, if you open the channel in YouTube, that is a crime.
And it might
This
also
is,
be
you
something...
should take it seriously in CCP region.
Yeah, and it's something
It's
that
not a joke.
could totally get you charged for treason. I mean, they can label you with whatever crimes they want once they don't like you.
Yes.
It's basically as simple as that.
That is very serious law breaking in China, CCP China.
So Miles Guo was highlighting the extent of abnormality in this nation, and it's all because people don't feel safe in that country. They don't feel like they would have a great life. So they want a better future, and they feel like they can have a better future in America or Canada or Britain or Australia or Japan or New Zealand. It's just as simple as that. So on the 7th of March 2020, Miles Guo also shared, do you think any of the Politburo members from Zhongnanhai have children staying in China? Then you record a video and see all the Chinese students and children overseas rushing back to their home country at full speed, even refusing green cards from America. This is abnormal. This is ruling with lies. To what extent has it reached? Just then, we were talking about international fabricated media. How deceptive have they become?
Nowadays, all of these big lands media company are infiltrated by CCP region. They are just bought by CCP region with people's money.
Yeah.
How can they speak out the truth and share the facts to the whole world?
Refer
Why
back
not?
to the
Yes, we can
BGY
ask,
tactics.
a lot of questions during the whole pandemic. What is the true story of CCP virus? What is the true story of the, pandemic? And why people, why they just enact a lot of, mandate policy on everyone? If you ask this kind of question, what is the function?
Yes, to this day, there are still
Yes.
people...
Until today, even the story are covered up by all of them.
To this day, we have yet to see an actual factual story on a main media platform.
Yes.
Like, or if
Not
you
all of
see on
them,
Google,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes to show how deep the infiltration of the CCP has reached. I think this paragraph from Miles Guo is a huge contrast to what he shared in the previous slide. I mean, we were just talking that everyone inside China was doing whatever
Given
they
chance,
can to go
Chinese
overseas.
people would like to go out.
Then why is he saying that all the Chinese students and children overseas are rushing back to the home country?
Fake news. That is a fake news. No one would like to, going back as this description might be someone or just a small group of people, because as I shared with our audience last time, for me, I got some friends overseas already settled down, overseas, but still would like to fly back to China to get the first batch of vaccine.
Yeah.
But that is just some of them, not all of them.
It's
for us,
amount.
wouldn't like to go with this whole tide. So all of this information actually is not the true story or the full picture, but it really can cheat people easily.
So then maybe the CCP could also take advantage of a video like this. So maybe they could record a video, whether it's staged.
It's easily to find, actors or actresses
right? Just
to make
money,
a video.
You tell them what to do. They know everything about it. So then they can record a video and they can say, oh, see, all these people are rushing back. They're not even taking the green cards that America gives them. They're not even taking a life here. They're going back. That's
It's
the
just
message
out
they want
of
to
people's,
send.
simple logic.
It is.
Because American got better medical situation. Everyone knows that. It's well
better
known.
healthcare, better freedom.
Yes.
Better survival.
It's leading to
better
fly back to,
education.
fly back to, CCP China.
Yeah, education is not just measured in IQ or in test scores, because this is just going along with the topic of how a lot of people think, oh, but aren't people inside China very smart? Don't they have high test scores? Well, this is a stereotype like everything else, and it is born out of high stress education from a young age.
Yes.
So I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's healthy at all.
Yes, and one thing more, I would like to point it out here in this paragraph, because, it's easily to cheated the ordinary people, especially outside of China, of CCP region. And also this kind of tactics CCP applied to maintain its control as the, leader in Chinese society for a long time. So be careful. And nowadays, one thing we should say, we should admit that people, it's easily to be cheated. It's easily to, it's really difficult for them to differentiate which is wrong, which is, right.
Yes.
It doesn't mean people are, stupid, but we have to admit we are so naive. We are so naive because people often say seeing is believing, but seeing these fake videos and read these fake news, but you don't know.
Yes, because exactly the things you see now are easy to manipulate.
Yes.
They're easy to edit. They can broadcast just a small portion of the story, and you'll think it's the entire story. So that's why it's hard to do critical thinking, really, with all the media. But I don't think the media itself is the problem. It's the people that control it, and how easily some dictatorship like the CCP can infiltrate the media, so they can manipulate what people see. What Miles Guo was trying to say here is, you see lots of the Politburo members, the CCP officials, top-ranking officials, all their family and children, or most of them, are overseas.
Interesting, very interesting, very funny. You pointed it out for our audience.
But they want the Chinese people to stay inside.
Yes. Why? Have you remember why Wang Qishan's wife got American passport? And a social security number. That means she is a citizenship there.
Yes, we have talked about this in our Chinese show, and that we can do a quick translation and just tell our audience that the CCP itself is a sellout of the country.
Yes, you are right. And also, actually, I would like to do with Eddie in our Chinese program, but we don't have that longer time to spare out for
we have to kind of
tonight.
Balance between both shows, both languages.
Actually, at this time, I'm a little bit, after long, tiring charity tribute, sometimes we don't have a lot of time to, clarify enough to get any kinds of information in my mind and to share with our audience. I just spontaneously to think and speak out and to share our, any kinds of, personal views on anything happened during the whole whistleblower movement with Miles Guo. But I have to say, if you can stay as long and with this program goes by, you can get more information. And all of these words and sentences we, added from Miles Guo's live stream actually is very helpful to let you understand more how to understand and how to see the whole world by some information not on the mainstream platform but on other kinds of people's voice platform like our Getter platform.
It does show plenty of information. And because Miles Guo has a lot of intelligence from the inside of the CCP, he's not just an outside analyst that looks at the news and analyzes. He does look at the news, but most of his intelligence is from his actual experience and witnesses within the Chinese Communist
Yeah,
Party.
more than 30 years.
That is a
Stay
huge
closely
pile of
with
intelligence.
CCP region's leaders or their family members. It's his outstanding perspective.
Yeah, we can only imagine how much knowledge and evidence he has.
Yes.
But we will continue sharing next time. So
Okay.
Thank you everyone for coming to our Righteous Way, Righteous Day show.
Thank you. See you next time.